Can block, can catch, and then after the catch, he can turn it upfield.
Time running out here on the play clock. Snap comes at 1, and it's Carr. A right side catch by Crabtree. And he's brought down. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Raiders in possession of the football. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. They pitch it out to Murray. Bulldozes past him. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. A nice run there, 9 yards. And it'll be second down.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
And he'll get it down to the 47 here. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
On first down, Carr. Here's Wolford over the middle. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. No gain, and it's second down. Well, he caught it right at the line of scrimmage, and before he could even think about advancing it forward, he got hit.
Great tackling, because that's what you're taught. Don't give up yards after the catch, and most offenses make a living off of yards after catches, hidden yards that may not go into the score sheet, but they count big for moving the ball and stretching the field. Really nice open field tackle.
Carr to throw on second down. Throw left side to the tight end, Wolford. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. Give him 7 on the play, and that's going to bring up a third down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
7th play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. They brought in an extra defensive back here, so probably not expecting a run on 3rd and 3.
A good call.
Carr going to try and throw. And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. It looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory. And he's going to be sacked back on his side of the field at the 44. Mario Edwards in there to drop him. And it'll be a loss of about 8. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. A fake to Bell. Now it's Roethlisberger. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position. Couldn't hold on. 3rd down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
Now Ben on 3rd and long. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. Call it a gain of 5. And that'll bring up 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Looks like the offense is going to take another shot here. They're going on 4th and 13. 4th down. Here's Roethlisberger. And James has it. And he will first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Call it a gain of 13 yards on the play. And they're able to move the chains as they convert on 4th and long. And the 2-minute warning lurking. This will probably be the last play before we hit it.
Yeah, they want to get themselves in position to score in this last shot before the clock hits.
So a pause here for us as well. Time to pay some bills. We'll come back to Oakland after this. Now Roethlisberger going to hand to Bell. And he'll take this one down to the 36. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
And that's the type of play that'll fire up a defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a first down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all, or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
On 2nd down, Roethlisberger finding time. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. Give him 8 on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
It's interesting because when I'm watching college football and I'm evaluating guys for the draft now, my list of fullbacks, pure fullbacks, it's a very short list. I'm probably evaluating more punters and kickers now than I am fullbacks, but it doesn't matter what you call a position, it's who you put there, and there we saw completion.
On 3rd and 1, it's Roethlisberger. Got his man, it's caught for a Steelers touchdown. Antonio Brown, 28 yards. And the Steelers have taken the lead. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they thought they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off, Jarvis Jones. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. So nothing there. I don't know that that's all in the back, though. You got to look at blocking there, don't you?
I would agree with that totally. At some point, they have to win at the point of attack. Instead, it was the defense getting it done again and holding them to no gain.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jihad Ward in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. Now whistles, and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. They come out here in the eye. Here's Roethlisberger to throw. On the right side, caught by Green. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line.
Well, the advantage has certainly shifted to the defense as we began that 3rd down play, and they found a way to foil it and pick up a first down.
3rd time's a charm, right? 2 incompletions. Had to have it on 3rd, and they got it.
Yeah, they stuck with it, weren't daunted at all, and picked it up.
Roethlisberger with a give to Bell. And he's going to push his way down to about the 12. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 2nd and very short.
Not an ideal spot to be on 1st down, but I love that the play caller did not immediately abandon the running game and say, okay, we've got to throw it in order to pick it up. Stayed with the run, was rewarded with a big-time pickup. Now they're in 2nd and manageable.
7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
I don't know about you, partner, but on 2nd and inches, a lot of the times I'm leery about the offensive guys thinking about taking a shot downtown. Instead, they just hand it to the big man and let him rumble forward for a 1st down.
Antonio Brown, the intended receiver. And it'll be 2nd and goal.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. 2nd and goal from the 5. And they'll turn to a power game to try to get in. No gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal. Now, whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. And it's 3rd down and goal from the 4. Williams. This defense bending but not breaking. It's a gain of 3. It's now 4th and goal. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. And likely time for one final play here in the half, so they will go for it on 4th down. They come out here in the I. Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. It's the fullback in the final seconds of the first half. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead. And he'll bang that one through. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is taken at his 4. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down. 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they felt they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. And this is going to be incomplete. Latavius Murray, the intended receiver, out of the backfield. And that is going to set up a 3rd and 1.
My high school coach, John Ford, used to say all the time, if you're in a bad situation, laddie, don't compound it with a bad decision as well. And I think that's what we just saw there. Harassed in the pocket, and he throws into double coverage anyway.
He called you laddie?
He called me laddie, and that was the nicest thing he called me.
They'll run for it now. Here's Marcel Reese. It's a gain of 4, and it gets him the first.
3rd and 1, who are you going to call? Not the scat back. You go with the big man. Hand him the ball and let him get upfield and pick up a first down.
On 1st down, Carr. And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
And the offense looks to pick up the first here on 3rd after that incompletion. From the gun, it's Carr. He finds Crabtree for the completion. And he's brought down after a good gain. And a nice gain of 21 yards. And here comes play number 6 on this drive.
And fits the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run.
He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. A big play there for the Raiders. 33 yards.
As we continue to advance in the NFL, as people continue to scout players, they really don't care as much about body types as they care about those guys who can make people miss, run through tackles, and gain all that additional run after catch. Anybody has that ability, they want them on their team.
Carr now to throw, and his throw is going to be incomplete. Amari Cooper, the intended target, and that'll make it 2nd and 10.
All defenders get tired of hearing about their lack of hands and why they're playing defense instead of offense, but in this situation, it was the hands that made the play. Batting the ball away on an attempted touchdown pass, excellent job, way to knock it down.
He was trying to get it to Michael Crabtree there, and it'll be 3rd and 10. And a really long drive here, and it goes on and on. Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. He sets up the screen to Jones. And he is going to lose yardage here. And now following that play, we've got a man down defensively, one of the members of the secondary. And we'll just hope he's all right to continue. Out is Janikowski now for the Raider field goal try. Right hash, 37-yard attempt. And the 38-year-old vet able to split the uprights. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So a good drive there to begin quarter number 3, but they're only able to shave 3 points off that lead.
And now you put the pressure on your defense, who didn't particularly play all that well in the first half. But they're going to need to step it up here and make some plays if these guys are going to have any chance.
Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. Now Roethlisberger to throw on, trying to get it to Wheaton, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the former Super Bowl MVP Malcolm Smith. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
Now after the INT, it's Carr. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Michael Crabtree, the intended receiver. And it'll be 2nd and 10. Offense still needing 10 yards. 2nd down. Shotgun now for Carr. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. Crabtree, once again, the intended target. And it'll be 3rd and 10 now.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he sensed being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. So a 2nd down incompletion now brings up 3rd down. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. From the gun now on 3rd down, Carr. Open man is Holmes. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Andre Holmes, 32 yards. And the forced turnover on defense leads to 6 points. And that time, he came out of the slot for that big play downfield for the score.
I think what we just saw there, partner, is what we call scheming a guy open. Put him in the slot, know that he has tremendous speed. What you're doing with your other receivers is likely running shorter routes to draw the attention closer to the line of scrimmage, to give him a chance to get downfield and turn it into a one-on-one route, often against the safety. You like your odds when he's running against the safety. His speed usually wins, and it did on that play.
This fielded at the 2. And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Again, it's Bell, and he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the third quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the second half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. 8 yards to go here on 2nd down. On the counter, here's Bell. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Given 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6. 3rd down now following the run. Back now in the East Bay. It's Steeler football, and they have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4. And the offense facing a 3rd and 6. Brown, the lone receiver, left. On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Here's Jordan Berry now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. Fielded just inside the 20. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Raiders will take possession. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And they're going to need another score. Got one last time, but still down here.
When you're playing catch-up, every possession becomes crucial, doesn't it? It's vital. Get back out on the field, punch in the end zone again. They know it's not easy, but what they do...
Murray fighting, lost the football. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. And now out come the Steelers. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They'll pitch it out to Bell. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Shift together here from the D-line. They come out here in the eye. They'll go again with Bell. And he's brought down. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick, and shifty. Can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary.
Oh, no, he lost the football. And the Raiders pick it up. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about, what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though. Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
To throw, it's Carr. And this one complete to Seth Roberts. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver, because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
So the offense looking at a 2nd and 8. One receiver to the left is Cooper. Carr to throw on 2nd down. Crabtree with it over the middle. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Michael Crabtree, 42 yards. And the Raiders have moved out in front here in the 4th quarter. Now a big 2-point conversion attempt still to come. Carr will look to throw. And no, incomplete. They can't convert. So they tried to bump the lead up to a field goal. Instead, it stays at 1 here in the 4th. Now Janikowski following the score. He'll boot this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out comes the Steeler offense now, ready to see what they can do here. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
They're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. They'll throw on 1st down with Roethlisberger. On the right side, caught by Green. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
Time starting to run out here in the 4th. This defense just trying to keep the offense off the board and preserve this potential victory. Throwing now, Roethlisberger on 1st down. A screen to Bell. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. They'll give him 8 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
It's really come into vogue to talk about the different gaps that the defense tries to attack in an offensive line. And most of the time we're talking about blitzes. How many times have you heard double A-gap blitz? Well, where is the A-gap? It's the space between the center and the guards, either side. So when you're having a double A-gap blitz, that's 2 guys coming through that gap. In this situation, though, that A-gap wasn't open for the defense to exploit. The offensive line took care of it, protected it, and moved the defensive guys out of the way to allow for that nice run.
Darius Hayward-Bay, the intended receiver. And that'll make it 2nd and 10. So incomplete on first. Let's see what second down has in store. They'll look to throw. And he can't corral it. That would have wrapped it up if he'd been able to hold on. Instead, it brings up third down.
I know that interception was dropped, and it would have been their third of the game, and I will guarantee you, in the huddle, on the bench, all the defensive guys have been talking about is, we've got this guy right where we want him. Who's going to get the next one? It almost becomes a challenge, and they missed a golden opportunity.
He's back to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. This remains a one-point game. The defense did their job. Now the offense here late, they just need to kind of hold on, seal this victory.
And the defense did it so well, didn't they? Didn't allow any points and got the ball back for their offense in order to close out this game. What a great feeling for both sides of the ball.
It'll be a better feeling if the offense can just seal this thing. We'll see if they can do it.
You trying to say the defense doesn't want to go back out there again?
That's correct.
Okay.
Second down following the run. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. Time to ground it out now with Murray. And the hole closes quickly. And the Steelers signal for another timeout. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a third down.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
They'll run here. It's Murray. And he'll get nothing out of that one. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a fourth down. He's fumbled already once, Charles. I'm not going to say that that was in his mind there, but I'm sure that during some of these plays he is mindful of it.
And once you fumble the ball, you know what your team tells you and your coaching staff? Take care of it rest of the game. And it does get in your mind a little bit.
And a timeout here. Timeout taken, whistles blown. Timeout taken by the receiving team. That'll be their third and final stoppage here as we step aside. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on fourth down. One receiver to the left is Cooper. The Raiders do snap it. It's Carr. And this is caught. Amari Cooper. 20, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Amari Cooper, 63 yards. And the Raiders add 6 to their lead. Big fourth down conversion for the score, and the defense, that is a tough pill to swallow.
Big time for them. How about them just deciding to go for it on fourth down? And, forget the field goal, because that looked like an easy 3 points. Yeah, you might have had a defensive breakdown in there, but they pressed the issue and found a way to get it into the end zone. Give them big credit for that.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. They're down here in a one-score game. But the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Well, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. He'll look to throw. And that's incomplete. He was trying to find Ladarius Green there as tight end. And that'll make it 2nd and 10.
The defensive coordinator came into this game with a plan to get to the quarterback with whatever type of pressure is necessary. It's working to perfection for him today.
They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Back to throw. And he can't corral it. That would have wrapped it up if he'd been able to hold on. Instead, it brings up 3rd down.
Well, an incomplete pass certainly doesn't look like a good play. For the guy throwing it today, as many interceptions he's thrown, he's got to feel a sigh of relief that the ball actually hit the ground and didn't go in the other direction.
Back to throw. He gets it to Brown. Complete. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36.
There's no doubt about it. That's just one of the best connections in the league. Big Ben throwing it to Antonio Brown. And Antonio Brown has turned himself into such a player. A low-round draft pick, but you can't beat his...
And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. They have the lead, still a one-possession game, but the defense got to stop. They've got the football now, just salted away, right?
Exactly. That's all the defense is counting on from their offense. They did their job in a big way. You know they're over on the sidelines now starting to take their tape off and, hey, we've done this thing. The offense has to put it away, and that means ball security.
Absolutely. Stranger things have happened. Carr down to a knee, and that ought to just about do it. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. And, Charles, when you pull out a close game, the good thing about that is maybe next time you're in a nail-biter in the 4th quarter, you have a little more confidence.
Yeah, you're talking about your memory muscles, right? When you win those close ones, you have that confident feeling that you can continue to do so every time you're in that position.
Now, that said, you would rather win by 60 points, or do you like the close ones, too?
Well, I think everyone would rather win by 60. It's comfortable. Everyone gets to play. But when you win those nail-biters, dinner tastes just a little bit better that night.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. The Black Hole celebrates. The Raiders are winners here as we say so long from Oakland.
Now I've been in New York, Texas, Midwest, and it all reminds me of California, cause there's no place like California. California, AATLMIADMV, all reminds me of California, cause there's no place like California.